it's Felicity here, and I am back for the video I was supposed to do, yesterday. Well, not yesterday, 2 days ago, but at the time I'm recording this yesterday. So, yeah, this is basically the second part to my color theory, to the color theory video 2.0 I did yesterday. So yesterday I keep saying yesterday, 2 days ago. Just know if I say yesterday on accident, I mean Monday. So, if you didn't know, the last video I made was Color Theory 2.0, where in that video, I kind of talked more about color theory, because I did a color theory video a little while ago, but I left some stuff out of that one. So, I did a second video, and there was going to be a thing about, like, what colors do and don't go together in that video. And the video ended up being like 18 minutes long with that, and my computer cannot handle videos that are more than 15 minutes long for some reason, so I ended up having to cut that part out. But I still kept the clips because I don't want to have to refilm it again. So, yeah, I'm going to be going kind of back and forth in this video. Like, you'll probably see me in, like, the same setting and clothes from the last time I did this. And then you'll cut to, like, this setting, which is the newer one. So, yeah, if you are wondering, if you're going to be like, what in the world, how is that happening? Then you know why. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking about what colors do and don't go together in this video, and I'm also going to be talking about some color schemes in this video. And I know I did color schemes before, but I'm going to be talking more about them. And actually, some color schemes that I left out. So, yeah, let's not make this video 18 minutes again, so I don't have to cut it, and just get started. So, I talked about tones in my Color Theory 1.0 video. In that video, I basically told you that tones are how light or dark a color is. So, for example, this green dress I'm wearing right now, this would be like a very toned down green. So, you can have like a solid color, which is basically, you can have a solid color such as pink or purple, and which is also considered a hue, but then there's a lot of other tones to that color. I also talked about a lot of like color theory combinations, such as triadic, complementary, and stuff like that. So those kinds of combinations, they have been proven in the past to look really nice together. And most of the time, they do, but in other situations, they can look absolutely terrible together. And why would that happen? It all comes down to tone. So in my first color theory video, I did talk about complementary color schemes. But if you don't remember what those are, then basically complementary color schemes are colors that are right across from each other on a color wheel. They're called complementary color schemes because they complement each other. They look good together. And usually, yes, that is the case, but only if you use the colors wisely together. So let's use my favorite complementary color pairing, pink and green, for an example. So pink and green are two colors that usually go well together, and most of the time they do. But do you think pastel pink looks good with a dark grayish green? No. That is just, why would you pair those two colors together? It just doesn't make sense to me. But, yeah, why do those colors not go together? Well, pastel pink is a very light tone of pink. And then dark grayish green is a very dark tone of green. So because their colors are so different, the two colors clash and just don't look good together. Now, that doesn't mean that if they're two different tones, that means they're automatically going to be bad. Because a lot of the time, they actually will look good together, as long as you use them wisely. Like, pastel pink actually goes really well with a dark green. Like, those two colors are really pretty together. But magenta does not go well with pastel green. It just doesn't. It looks terrible. So, and a lot of the times, they actually will go well together if they are two different color tones, but you just gotta be very careful they don't look bad together. You want them to complement each other. You don't want them to clash. You don't want clashing, you want contrast. And additionally, two different colors that have similar tones will actually also look good together. Like, take pastel pink and pastel green, for example. Those two colors look good together. So do magenta and dark green. Those two look good together. And so do bright pink and bright green. And before you say, but bright pink and bright green are they're too bright. They don't look good together. Well, they are very bright. But they do look good together because they have similar tones. So because one example is not enough to support a claim, as any science or English teacher will tell you, I'm going to be giving you another example of color tones that do and don't go together regarding the complementary color combinations, red and green. Pretty appropriate example because it's December! It's getting close to Christmas, and green and red are basically they're just they're pretty classic Christmas colors. So let's go through our checklist again. Two color tones from those two colors that don't go together. Brick red and gray green. Just no. Why would you pair those two colors together? That is a terrible combination. But if you want an example of two colors with different tones that do go good together, brick red and pastel green actually look good together. And additionally, again, dark green and dark red, they go good together. Coral red and pastel green, they also go well together. And so do bright red and bright green. So, yeah. So again, you want contrast, you don't want clashing. So, a lot of these, sometimes two different color tones will go good together that are very different, but sometimes they won't. Opposites are very good because they actually do look good together, but not all the time. So, yeah. Also, again, two color tones that are close in tone, they will also look good together as well. Generally, they will. Not all the time, but most of the time they will. So like I said at the beginning of this video, I actually talked about color schemes in my first color theory video. I also finished a series a couple weeks ago, which is basically me putting together outfits based on different color schemes. So in those two videos, I talked about the color schemes of monochromatic, complementary, split complementary, analogous, and tridatic. But there are actually two I missed. There's not 5 color schemes. There's actually 7 color schemes. So the 2 that I missed were square and tetradic. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. So I am not going to be talking about the previous 5 because I've already talked about those and gone into more depth. Okay, I've gone into more detail in them before. I'm sorry. I have problems with pronunciation sometimes. I've already gone into those in more detail before, so I'm not going to be talking about those. But I will be talking about the 2 that I missed, which are square and tetradic. starting with square color schemes. Square color schemes are actually very similar to triadic schemes, which I've already talked about. But if you need a refresher on what a triadic color scheme is, it's what I like to call the 333 color scheme. And the reason why I call it that, even though probably nobody else does, is because in that scheme there are 3 colors, not 4, 3 colors in that color scheme, and each color is separated equally on the color wheel. But to be more precise, each color has 3 spaces in between, and if you look at it on the color wheel, it makes like a triangle shape. So it's like the 333, basically. A square color scheme is actually very similar to that. It has 4 colors because, square has 4 sides, and then there are 2 spaces in between. But if you were to look at it on a color wheel, it would look basically like a square or a diamond. So let's look at the colors red, yellow, blue, and green. Those always were like a weird combination to me before I learned what square color schemes were. Because like blue, yellow, and red. Okay, fine. Those all go well together. Like they're primary colors, they're triadic color schemes. It makes sense. But like, why green? Green seemed like a weird outlier to me. Well, it's because those 4 colors are a square color scheme, so that's why they all go together. So it makes sense that way. And if you need proof on that, then I will show you a picture of that color scheme on screen right now. Now let's look at tetradic. Tetradic is like the ultimate color complementary scheme. And the thing I mean by that is that it is basically two pairs of complementary colors. And I don't think I need to explain what complementary colors are because I have explained that multiple times, at least like twice in this video, maybe just once, but I've explained it multiple times in this video as well as in other videos, so I don't think I need to explain what that is again. So it's also called a rectangle scheme because like sometimes it makes like a rectangle shape on a color wheel, just like triadic. Sometimes will make a triangle shape, and then square makes a square shape, obviously, because it's in the name. But I honestly think that's not a very accurate way to say it because that's not always the case. Like with triadic and square color schemes, it will always be a square or a triangle, depending on which one you're talking about. But it won't always be like that with a tetrad scheme. So like, let's take the colors purple, red, yellow, and green. Like, that does make a rectangle because there is 1 space in between the colors of red and purple, and then 1 space in between the colors of yellow and green. But that's not always going to be the case. Like in cases with colors like blue, yellow, green, pink, and orange, then like that one, there isn't 1 space in between those colors. Well, what I mean by like 1 space in between those colors is I mean there's like 1 space in between those colors on either side. But like with that case, there's 2 spaces in between. So it will make a rectangle sometimes, but not every time. Which is why I think it's more accurate to say that it's a tetrad scheme and not a rectangle scheme, because it's not always going to be a rectangle. So, so those are the 2 color schemes that I didn't talk about. So you just need to remember square and tetrad. But anyways, guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, make sure to consider liking and subscribing to see more content like this on my channel. But anyways, guys, I hope you had a great day, night, or afternoon. Bye, guys!